Welcome to another week in our garden. It's an absolutely beautiful day today. There's hardly a cloud in the sky, although they have promised me that Friday, that's tomorrow, it's going to rain. And that'll be a day without having to carry the cans down to water. And it will fill my water butts up. Bring you up to date on the butternut squashes that were put on the end here where we had the box with the loam in. Now we've put a V-shaped trellis in. We thought that was the best way to have two side by side would have blocked the light a bit, so we've gone for the V-shaped. I've put the bean net on, a bit of old bean net we had, just to give them a bit of more support as they come up. We put the butternut squash in the bottom, quite a few in there, so we should have a decent harvest from them. The other thing is that Diane's put this bit of a twister, if you like, on here to try and keep the crow off, because we have a crow. It's been sat on here crowing at me before we put this up. Now the other thing we want to do this week is we want to tie the raspberries in on the lines. We'll go into the fruit cage and do that, and then we'll fill a basket or two and a few planters. Okay, now we've got ourselves into the fruit cage. Everything's doing remarkably well, except for now these half a dozen bare root raspberries here that have come to nothing. I think they're actually dead now. We've been waiting for shoots to come up from below ground, but there's been none. So we've contacted DT Browns, told them about the plants are dead, and they've said they'll send us 6 more. And 2 of the earlies have failed as well, and they've said no problem, we'll send you them within the next 10 days, which will actually knock us back another year now on the cropping, but it doesn't matter, at least we're going to get a replacement for the plants. Right, these are the old raspberry canes. These are the ones that these will replace. But in the meantime, they've still got to be tied up and cared for. Put 3 new wires on this year and put tensioners on that end so we can keep them reasonably tight. You don't, if you pull them too tight, you just pull your stakes over. Right, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to start on the bottom wire, and I'm actually going to tie the strongest of the canes to the wire with the jute string, loose, not too tight, and then the weaker canes and any cane that's about 9 inches from the row I'm going to cut off. So I'm actually going to tie them in and thin them down. So I'll do a few and then show you how it's done. Now as you can see, what I've done, I've taken the thin ones and the ones that are not in the rows and cut them off right at the soil level, and then the ones I want to keep I've just in and out with the jute string just to hold them in place. Now when they get a bit bigger, we do exactly the same on the next wire, then the next wire, and then when they go past the top wire, we just loop them over to stop them blowing about in the wind. They'll soon be up there, believe me. Now we're taking out anything like that. That's not going to do anything for us this year, so we take that off. And if we just look, here, this one is, we'll take this one out to thin those down a little bit as well, so you can see what we're doing. This one, that one's fine, that one's fine. The thin ones there, look, we'll take those out. There's 2 of those. And this one's off the row, so we'll take that one out. and we'll take the weed out while we're there. Right, this one here is off the row, look, so we'll take that one out. We've got plenty there, and then we'll tie them in. What they normally say is you want about 3 to 4 inch, or shall we say 2 to 3 inch between space between the canes as they come up, and then they'll be better, the air and the light can get to them for your fruit. This one wants to come off, look, that's no good. That'll be fine. And then a good watering, which they're getting tomorrow, and I should just put some basic fertiliser on them once we've had the rain, just to wash them in. That'll be fine. Now I find it easier if you do about 3 feet, a metre length piece of string at a time. It'll be no good trying to do it with the ball. I should lose it in there. And I just keep one line going. Just put a simple knot in it, nothing. Just to hold it. Remember, it's jute string, so it will rot off, so there's no real strength in it. And there you see, a couple of times round to get it started. And then we go behind that cane, once round the wire again, and then there's another one at the back as well, look, so we'll go over and round that one. You'll be able to see better in a minute when we're doing this one, I think. Right, now this one comes in, so we're coming from the back of the wire anyway, and over there, and it's a little bit like just weaving them in. No need to do it too tight because it lets the sap go by as well. This one the same, look, we'll just go round the wire again. It's that you can tie every one up, but it'll take forever. And I won't use the taping machine in here because at the end of the day there'll be lots of bits of plastic about when we're finished. One here, look, we'll pull that one there and that one there. You see, just round. Right, so we go round to hold that one, go back through, pull that one too, and round that one. If you don't do this, we didn't do it last year for some unknown reason, and they're all grown up and falling over. It gets quite a mess. Then that one, look, we'll take that one round there. We'll do to the end of this string, and then I'll finish it later, I think, when we've done pots. And on that one, look, you will tie a leaf or two in, don't worry about it. This one is doing nothing there, so let's snip that one off, shall we? Go right to the bottom, take it off. Likewise, there's another little tiny one there, look, we don't want that one in there. And then we carry on. You can pull them a bit to space them, don't be frightened to give them a pull. If they snap off, it doesn't matter, because another one, there's plenty here. You see we've got loads at the back, all that at the back. I don't know if you can see it. That I'll take off. It's very weak growth, and we've got these nice thick shoots here, so we'll have these nice thick ones, and we'll let them go up for fruiting and take the smaller ones out. That's over there, look, we'll bring this one in there, over. They are a little bit prickly, so you might need to wear gloves. And we'll tie that one in there, I think, and then tie the string off for the next piece. We'll just tie off. That's it. And then the next piece of string I'll tie to this and work down the row. Just need to take those off at the back. There's quite a few at the back. I'll have to stand up and take those off. And there you are. That's what it look like when it's tied in. Looks a lot better. Do exactly the same when we get above this wire, and then when it gets to the top one, I'll show you what we do to loop them over. As you can see, that looks nice and tidy and in control. On that side, you can tell that it wants doing. All this Latin, these will get big. These will get quite tall. And when they get a bit of fruit on, they'll just fall over. So you really do need to tie them up and keep them tidy. You can put a mulch on if you're using grass cuttings, etc., to keep as a mulch. Try not to get them on top of the roots, because they will get hot, rot, and they'll rot the top of the root system. Very, very shallow rooted. Really, if you've got some well-rotted garden compost, or even better, some well-rotted manure, and put that down each side, give it a good wetting first, and then put that each side, they'll look after themselves then. Right, we've made our way up to the greenhouse. Still a beautiful day. We are going to fill a tub and a hanging basket. I've already done 2. And now I'm going to do another 2 with you. Okay, these are the ones I've made already, and now we'll make another one of each to show you how we do it. This is the tub. It's just a tub that we use in the courtyard. We've had it a few years now. It's going to show a little bit of wear, shall we say, but it's making it look better. Now, first of all, I put some crocks in the bottom, some old broken plant pot over the holes, and I'll put some compost on top of that, and then we'll drop the standard in so we can start and build. I've just put the standard in. It was in a 10-litre pot, and it took 2 of us to turn it over. So we got that in. Now we'll put the geraniums in. Three geraniums, I think, go in here. Little round a little bit, that one, I think. I'm doing it with a little bit different colour to the other one, but basically the same. That's the 3 geraniums in. Now we use the Bacopa. Remember, this is the white flower. Will trail all over there, that will. Put 2 of those in, I think. There you are. And now we'll put some red begonias in there to bring the colour out. The red leaves will be nice. Put one either side. That's it. It's nice, that. At the back I'm going to put another begonia. These, we actually bought in these begonias because I couldn't grow them from seed. The seed is very, very expensive. They're the only plants here, I think, that we bought in this year. Now, when we took the winter baskets apart, I took the ivy out, and I've just popped it in these pots just to keep it fresh, but I want it to actually go through the tub, so I'll just knock it out. It did come out the hanging basket, so it's going back in a tub this time. Now, if you see, I've planted it what looks like the wrong way round, but I want to open these up now, and I want to actually feed them through the tub rather than have it hanging straight down. Let it make its own way through. That's nice, that. Now we'll start and put some busy Lizzies in. These are our own from seed, so they've done quite well. pretty colour, that one. I'm not pressing filling up too much. I do that at the end because I want to put another busy Lizzie in there as well. That's nice colour. I think the white ought to go there. Sounds like Rodney's shouting for his tea. We usually take him a little bit of a treat this time of day, and it sounds like he's shouting for it. Let one of those go out. Right, we'll put this impatient in there. It's getting a little bit tight in there, but that's fine. In she goes. I do like these Bacopa, they do smell nice. Right, the other one in there, look, nice colour that. And now we'll fill the back in with some nice begonias at the back. That'll all come down nicely. Right, so I just put 2 begonias. This is the back of the pot. Obviously, if you remember, begonias will get quite tall anyway. And if they're against the wall, they'll be against the wall, so it will tend to draw them a bit, so that will fill that back nicely. I just had to put some more compost in there. Let's fill up now with the compost. It's just general purpose compost this year. I haven't made my own this year, didn't have time. And I'll just check round now and make sure there's no holes. If there's any holes you need to fill in. This will come down here anyway. These will come down. And the impatty busy Lizzies always trail a little bit, so that'll look nice. That's a bit busy here, that can go down a little. There you are. I'll just check for holes. Here's the pat, settle it down, and that tub is now finished. There's the 2 tubs I've done. They'll go nicely in the courtyard. This is the hanging basket we're going to fill. Make sure you've got something to put it on that's sound, and also make sure your chains are fastened on before you lift it up, else the whole lot will throw itself out. Now, it's got a liner in it. What I've done, I made it just a few holes so it doesn't puddle in the bottom and go sour, so the water will eventually drain out. I'm just going to 1/3 fill it with compost and then start building the plants in. 1/3 fill of compost. Keep it loose, don't pack it down too tight just yet. This is one of our overwintered geraniums. It's even got an impatient seedling starting in it. The fuchsias aren't coming on so well this year, so we picked this one. It's not the prettiest, but it's the only one we had with flower on. And we'll pop that to the front of it. There you go. These fuchsias aren't miniature upright, so they won't get big on there. Now this one we're going to use the double red Surfinias. It says that it's it just said it's double red. They're rooted well, to say. Now we're going to use 3, so 1, 2, 3 to offset. They're quite big plants, and you have to be quite firm pushing them in. This one has got a bit of a broken branch there. If any breaks you see now, take them off. Same again, look. Also, any dead flowers, take those off as you go. Again, she's rooted down well. So we'll go here and then one there. There's plenty of room in there, look. You see? Very nice that. Let them blend together. And then the third one, which is slightly different, it's got like a white piece on the petals, but that'll be fine. We don't usually take the plants for the baskets to 1 litres, but it's just been an odd year weather-wise. We had to take them up because they was growing so well. But that really does fill that basket up, doesn't it? Pleased with that. Now in here we'll put a Bacopa in there. It's got a broken bit there, look, so we'll take that off. It'll only die if it doesn't. And then we'll make a nice hole there, and that will go in there nicely. That really will trail. These will go right down as well. And we'll put this one here, I think. I'm trying to avoid making it into what we call a coat hanger by making sure we've got trailers all the way around. Now again, I'm going to use one of the ivies out of the winter pots and spread it backwards through, but I just need to make a hole for it and then push it in. Sorry about that, we had to change the battery. Diane was flashing. Right, so put the ivy in. Same again, I've reversed it so it runs through the basket, and so at the end of the season it'll all be mixed in beautiful. And now I think some red busy Lizzies in there, at least 3, and we'll be looking smart then. I say these are from our own seed. They did very well this year. In fact, everything's done quite well, yet the weather was terrible. One round the back here. And one on this side to finish. Now, as with all your baskets, you will have to feed it. You will have to water it twice a day, feed once a week, and it'll go all through the summer. And that will look fantastic. Now I've just got to go round and put my fingers in amongst the plants to make sure there's no holes in there. If you've got a hole, then it will dry out and all the water will flush through and you won't get it to your plants then. You can, some people put bottles in them, some have automatic watering systems going onto them. We have a watering can. Right, now that's the 2 of the baskets and 2 of the tubs we've done for the courtyard. I think these are going all colour coordinated by myself. I hope I've got it right. And standing back here, the perfume that's coming off these Surfinias is beautiful, and the geraniums. So they not only look nice, they also smell nice as well. But the only plants that we've had to buy out of this collection are the begonias. Everything else we've overwintered or propagated this year ourselves, and I don't think that's too bad. Now that'll be it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do get your baskets and everything done. Be careful though with the weather. If it looks like it's going to be a frost or anything below 3 degrees Celsius, get some fleece wrapped around them and watch out for that north wind. If it's blowing, they won't like the north wind. So that'll be it for this week. Many thanks for subscribing. I see we've managed to hit 10,000 now. 10,000 subscribers, who would have thought it, eh? Brilliant. Many thanks everyone, we do appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week, and I hope Diane does some of these baskets over the weekend, so I should be very busy. Okay then, bye now.